Today's dessert is as easy as can be, and it also happens to be dairy and gluten-free. We're making a peach crisp. I hope you'll stick with me. Hey there, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm happy to have you here. Today we are making a peach crisp, a fast, easy, dairy and gluten-free dessert. No special tools or equipment for this one, and you probably actually have most of the ingredients already in your pantry at home. For those of you who are dairy and gluten-free, this is a great and easy dessert. 3 main steps: prep our peaches, prep our crisp topping, toss it in the oven, and bake it. So let's get going. So the first step is to prep our peaches. I've got about 7 peaches here, and frankly, some of these peaches have really seen a better day. So if you've never cut a peach before, I'm gonna show you the way that I have found that's the easiest. Starting at the stem side, roll your knife around until you've cut all the way through the peach. And do that a few times, depending on how big of a slice you want. I've got a few different cuts there that you can see. Because this peach is really big, I'm gonna make 3 cuts around the peach, like the hemisphere. And the bottom one, I didn't hit any pit at all, so I just got perfect little peach slices. But when you hit the pit, it's no problem. Just roll your knife around and then take both sides of the peach, twist it opposite ways, and you've got beautiful slices of peach. So these peaches are very ripe, so the pit just fell right out. That happens sometimes, no problem. Just slice them up, same size as the others. Other stone fruit will work for this as well. You could use apricots, you could use nectarines, you could even mix your peaches with another fruit. Cherry and peach is delicious together. If you've got berries in your garden, like I've got some raspberries starting to come in and some blueberries, you can use those as well. So this peach has seen a little bit of a better day. I'm just gonna pull the pit out, cut those little pieces off, and work around it. It's no big deal at all. Just keep going. Chop them up. And there we have our peaches. The next step is to flavor up our peaches just a little bit. We're also gonna add a little bit of a thickening agent, which is gluten-free flour, so that when these peaches release their juices, it turns into a nice, juicy jam-like consistency versus a runny crumble. So over the top, I'm just gonna sprinkle a couple tablespoons of gluten-free flour, about a teaspoon of salt, a couple good shakes of cinnamon, a little bit less of cardamom. Cardamom is a great spice, goes really nicely with cinnamon, but you could use nutmeg if you have it, you could use allspice if you have it, you could leave these spices out completely. A little bit of vanilla, probably about a tablespoon for this mini peaches. These peaches are very sweet, so I don't need a ton of sweetener, but I'm probably gonna add about 1/4 cup to 1/3 cup of maple syrup. And then last but not least, I'm gonna zest in a lemon. It just adds a really interesting flavor in the background. Don't forget to tap your microplane on the side of your bowl because a lot of the zest is left on the back of the microplane. Now we stir. We're just trying to get those peaches a little bit coated in that flour, make sure the spices are nice and worked in. If your peaches are really soft, just go easy on this step. You can actually even prep this directly in your baking dish if you want to, and just sprinkle the flour and the spices over the top. And that's all she wrote for the peach filling. I'm using a cast iron. This cast iron gets heavy use and is very non-stick. I don't need to add any oil to the bottom of the pan, but if you do, feel free to add some butter or some neutral flavored oil. Butter, of course, only if you're not making it dairy-free. So into the pan go our peaches. Next, we're gonna get started on the crisp. Crisp toppings and crumble toppings are super, super easy. The difference between a crisp and a crumble, by the way, is one usually has oats and nuts. That's a crisp, and a crumble usually just has like a streusel topping. They're very, very simple. It's not something that needs to be perfectly exact, and you can really bump up or bump down the measurements of these ingredients based on how much of a crispy topping you like. I like a lot, so I'm gonna make a lot of crisp. But start with the measurements in the description box below. That'll give you a good start. And then as you learn what you like, you can adjust up or down from there. Really simple, we're just gonna toss everything in a bowl. So I've got some oats, some almond meal. You could use gluten-free flour or you can use some regular flour if you like, but since this is gluten-free, I'm going with almond meal. Really roughly chopped pecan, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, a little bit of vanilla again, another sprinkle of cardamom, just a little bit this time, and another sprinkle of cinnamon. Give those a mix. And then I'm gonna add, I've got probably 1/3 to 1/2 cup of coconut oil here. So in this step, you don't wanna make it so that it's completely runny with coconut oil, and you don't want it to be too dry either. You want it to be kind of the consistency of wet sand. That is just about perfect. So we have our crisp topping. It's perfect. So all we do is take the crisp, put it on the peaches, voila, our crisp is ready for the oven. This is gonna go in a preheated 375-degree oven, and I'm guessing it's gonna take probably about 20 minutes. What you're looking for is the peaches to be nice and tender, the crisp to get a little crispy, and you'll really start to smell it in your kitchen when it's ready to go. So I'm gonna toss this in my oven, and I'll be back to you when it's ready to taste. Well, my whole house smells like peach crisp, so I'd say it's done. Looks amazing. Now we gotta wait. So I'm gonna let it cool for a few minutes. I'll be right back to you to taste it. Time to taste. Absolutely screaming hot, as per usual. The crisp topping is a little bit crunchy, which is exactly what I wanted. Those nuts toasted up really nicely. The peaches have a little bit of body, but they're nice and soft, exactly what you want. I've just topped this with a little bit of powdered sugar. If you had some ice cream in your fridge, dairy-free, if you're doing the dairy-free version, or full dairy, or even some cream. In fact, my dad used to pour milk on his crisps and pies. So if you're from the Midwest and feel like that's your jam, do that. This is delicious. Super easy, super fast. Once you have the method down for a crisp or a crumble, you can really switch up the fruit however you want. It's so not difficult at all. So I think we did it. I think we succeeded in making a fast, easy, dairy and gluten-free dessert. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you'll give it a try. Please let me know in the comments if you do, and if you use peaches or something else. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. If you liked this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more from me, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll look forward to seeing you here next time. Cheers.